Happy Friday. I'm reverting back to using YouTube because Yuja requires so many steps that I don't have instructions for. And the video that was in the announcements this week was supposed to have a built in quiz, but I'm not even sure how to access that. The announcement right here, I believe, is from Monday, is the one where you can see the video, and it also has the assignment lists. But the pop-up quiz didn't work when I tried the student view. I shared it with all of you again, just so you can see if the quiz comes up. I can give you extra credit for that. However, don't stress about it if it doesn't, because this is just how annoying Blackboard is. And Yuja is also in cahoots with Blackboard to drive me completely insane. I will post the second exam soon, but there are a couple of things I would like to remind you. One is that 2 people still need to do the feedback form, and the other is that in the discussions, I believe 2 or 3 people still need to acknowledge my response. Just because I do give you feedback and I want you to be used to seeing that I write back to you, and I like to know that you have read what I wrote back to you. Also, you should be able to see feedback in the grade book, and you don't have to tell me that you read that, but I just want you to know that I do give you lots of feedback. So the other discussion about the Constitution is a little bit tricky because the Constitution itself is rather vague in the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. This is the 13th Amendment, which outlaws slavery unless you're punished for a crime. And the second one doesn't abridge the privileges or the immunities of citizens in the United States. So we have this term citizens, and then in the second part, the states shouldn't deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process or equal protection of its laws. Keep in mind that privileges and immunities apply to citizens. Citizens are only men in 1868. Persons are any people. So that is a little vague and a little tricky. Here we have, once again, the citizens, who are men who are permitted to vote, and then citizens who can vote can also include women in the 19th Amendment. If you're using an originalist reading of the Constitution, that makes a big difference in how we apply the Constitution to civil rights or what privileges mean. So this is a really difficult discussion. And I gave feedback to a couple of people. So I invite you to look through what other people said and to think about the really complicated question that this discussion asks. The other information, as I said, I will soon include the exam, and that will include Baldwin and Kendi, who are important in the ways they defined racism. Again, back to Orangeburg and San Francisco State, protest that created African American Studies programs. Yesterday, the film Boss showed the white terrorism that attempted to destroy African American wealth, but also showed us many wonderful, inspiring examples of African American business people and African American wealth that have prevailed despite negative forces. Today, Lessons of Haiti is a little bit more of an historical review of the specific policies that the U.S. government created in the second half of the 1900s, the 20th century, to prevent African Americans from recovering the wealth that most black families had amassed prior to the Great Depression. This is a really annoying quiz because if you don't put the answer exactly like I put it, Blackboard will mark it wrong. But it also has multiple unlimited attempts and you should be able to see the correct answers. So hopefully that will help you within 2 tries get all of this right for Haiti. And so I think it's important for us to understand what structural oppression is. And structural oppression is when the government actually refuses to protect people, as is the case in Oklahoma and Wilmington, and there were also riots in Atlanta. And another form of structural oppression is when the government creates or allows laws like redlining and eminent domain, or builds interstate highways through neighborhoods. That is a form of structural oppression because it denies wealth to the people affected by it. So that's what we're looking at for this week. The second exam will be from these sources and a few questions from last week as well. And the video is getting super long, so if you have any other questions, please just go ahead and ask. I'm happy to answer you anytime. Have a great weekend.